Hi there. Today's video is about how to have a really great outcome for your hip replacement surgery by doing prehab exercises, even if you waited for a very long time and you're in a lot of pain. These particular exercises will help you find a pain-free zone, I hope, where you can do everything you can within your power to have the best outcome for this surgery. Okay, so please don't feel bad that you waited for a long time, because it's even though it's a very common and successful surgery now, and outcomes in general are very good statistically, it's still a really big deal to have a hip replacement. It's very expensive. You have to get the healthcare lined up, and you have to take time off for recovery. So this is for all of you who finally got it all lined up and you've made the decision and you want to have the best outcome that you can. My name is Clare Maxwell at Embodied Learning Systems. I teach something called the Alexander Technique. And 7 weeks ago, I had my own hip replacement. And so I am speaking from experience and also from looking at what is out there as support for you. So there's a lot of material, a lot of videos about hip replacement. It's a pretty saturated topic. And so I have chosen to focus on what I didn't see covered. Prehab is not covered by insurance. And so if you don't have money to pay for your own PT, you're going to need to take responsibility and do it for yourself. And a lot of prehab that is suggested involves going into a range of motion which may be painful for you at this point. So come along with me, and I'm going to show you some of my tricks and workarounds. Two main areas that you can help yourself. One is you can strengthen your arms, because you're going to need to be lifting up your butt and moving it around as you get better. You're going to have to lift the weight of your pelvis and make incremental movements in order to protect the hip joint and not get it out of place. And then the second would be to strengthen the outsides of your legs, your glutes, and maybe a little bit the insides of your legs. But this folding hip motion, see, that's about as much as I can do now, is maybe off limits for you. Okay? So first of all, your arms. These are my two favorites. There's a lot you can do, but I don't have time to cover all of them. So the first one involves just lifting yourself up, the weight of your pelvis off of a chair. And the easiest way to do that is to kind of send your head up and out and over a little bit, almost like you're looking under a chair and you're going to stand up, except for instead of using your legs, you're going to use your arms. So at first when I did that, I actually was pretty weak. And I'm so glad that I strengthened my arms before the operation. So even if you can only lift the weight of your pelvis up and leave your feet down at first, start with that, and then slowly lifting your feet off. And then you can hold it for 1 count, hold it for 2 counts, hold it for 5 counts. And you can build up to doing 1 set of 10, 2 sets of 10, 3 sets of 10. So this is a really great one. Your head leads, you look out, you come up off the ground. You can play with changing the angle of your arms, but I don't have too many choices here. The second exercise for your arms might not seem like a lot. Here's my trusty assistant here. But if you do a number of sets of this, you'll find you get a little bit of a burn in certain parts of your rotators. So you're grasping a bar, I'll come a little closer, with your thumb like this, and you want as much soft skin contact as you can get, and you're thinking of pulling the bar apart. So if you do that, you'll feel certain arm muscles kick in. So you're pulling the bar apart, and then you're just lifting it up over your head like this. And it might not seem like that big of a deal. What you want to do is really think up as you do it. So you could even maybe go on your toes a little bit. You don't want to put this behind you. You want to send it up into the sky, straight up into the sky as best you can. And if you do 3 sets of 10 or more sets, you'll begin to feel a certain burn, but it will get you up and out, make some space in your hip joints, and begin to strengthen your arms. Okay, so that's the 2 arm exercises. This is just a broom, but you might have something else in the house you could use. Then we get on to our legs. So I'm just going to show you brief examples. I'm not going to do all the reps, but you definitely want to do some leg lifts for your side muscles, the adductors, and you want to support yourself. But I'm going to tell you a secret that I'm not really putting too much weight. If I'm going to lift this leg, I'm not putting too much weight in this arm, and I'm not relying too heavily on the chair. I'm actually thinking of sending the chair that way. I'm thinking of sending my head that way and my foot that way. So it's like this, like this. And this will get you up out of your standing leg because you want to do both legs. So thinking up, thinking side to lift your leg. And if it hurts, just do smaller. Just wake up the neuromuscular connections in your legs. So 3 sets of 10, 4 sets of 10, till you feel a little burn. Also, just feeling your feet. I'm going to say that when you've got pain in your hips, your brain tends to stop there. And so as you're walking in your tiny steps because your hips hurt, see if you can just enjoy the sensation of your feet. And when you do these exercises, stay alive to that sensation. So a tiny plie will put a little demand on your quads without you bending and hurting in the joint. So we call that a plie in dance. Your feet kind of spread and open, and then you go up into a releve. So you can do as many of these. You'll start to feel a burn after a little while. If you do 3 sets of 10, you'll definitely feel it. When my hip was at its worst pain, what was happening is that the gluteal muscles, which you really want to get strong, were starting to literally shut down. And so I had to put my hand on my own gluteal muscle to get it to fully fire, to really contract. So the more your glutes and hamstrings contract, the more your pelvis goes up. And that's what you want to do. Okay? You could even, if you have a chair and you feel like it, you could add a little arch, but it's not to do anything extreme in your back. It's literally to lift your pelvic floor up. And if you send your chest or you look up, you're going to get more tone there. Okay? So those aren't too complicated. The last thing, if you can still get down to the floor, you might want to do some exercises that develop your adductors. If you can't get down to the floor, you can just do some squeezes while you're standing. And you can think of it as sending your femurs, and you can feel your lower femur bone. Literally, it's a bump there. You can think of sending those together, and again, to go up. That's going to take pressure off your painful hip instead of putting pressure on it. If you can get down to the ground, which I can now do, it might take me a little bit of time. You can also do some of these exercises that you'll find on the internet where you send those 2 points together and you lift your butt up off the ground. And again, I had literally, whoops, I lost my microphone. I literally had to feel my butt to get it to contract because it was so done with the pain. Sorry about the sound there. Okay, so, 3 sets of 5, 3 sets of 10 with a little bit of squeeze. Okay, look at me, 7 weeks in, I'm sitting on the ground. You might not be able to do that, but it's amazing. I'm so glad that I had this operation before I got too many other problems. And I'll tell you a secret. I really took it as an opportunity to take deep care of myself, to be very self-centered and communicate to myself, I'm going to do this for you. I'm really doing this for you. I am 100% committed to caring for you. I had to do a little ritual to thank my femoral head for all of its service. And just to say that for the good of the whole, we needed to say goodbye. Thank you so much for your service. I had to do something to acknowledge the weirdness of letting somebody take a part of me out. It's a very strange thing that we can do, but it really can improve your quality of life. And as we get older, we really need to commit to that because life is so much better and it means so much more for me the older I get. So peace and love. Thanks for watching. If you want to read a little bit more or come to some movement classes that can help you stay mobile, even if you have had a hip replacement, you can check out the box below. Clare Maxwell, Embodied Learning Systems. Thanks for watching. Bye.